that was St. Stephens Cathedral in Brisbane, but we'll get back to that later. Here we are arriving in Brisbane an hour later than expected. Walking through the terminal into Brisbane Airport. And onto the train to head into the CBD. "20 minutes later we arrived at Central Station, then it was off to try and find our hotel. The hotel is only 400 metres from the station, so not too far away, but we ended up going around the block and past the hotel because it was on a lower level. It was very confusing, but we eventually got there in the end. After we checked into the hotel, we went straight to Albert Street Uniting Church, where I set up my registrations, got familiar with the organ and the console, and here we are outside the church. Following rehearsal, it was off to see what Brisbane has to offer, and the best thing about it is being able to ride these electric scooters. I did get yelled at by some people saying scooters were a menace, but it was just really fun. It was really fun to ride on them and a great way to get around the CBD. After that, we attempted to get into the pool, but it was way too cold.
What if I just pushed you in there?
After dinner, I decided to go out for a stroll and see Brisbane under some lights. The next day we had a few hours to spare, so we decided to head back into the city, have some coffee before heading into the church, setting up and preparing for the recital. After some lunch, we headed to St. Stephens Cathedral, where Chris was kind enough to let us play the cathedral organ. Later that evening, we decided to have some dinner right across the road from the church and also across from City Hall, which houses a 5-manual organ. So one day I hope to be able to play that instrument and feature it on the channel. The next morning I went to 10 a.m. Mass at St. Stephen's, and I quickly took a scooter and headed over to Fortitude Valley here at this church, which is St. Patrick's, where I met up with Philip Gearing, who was subbing for this Mass, and we had some lunch and I took some photos and videos of the inside the church. Unfortunately, the pipe organ isn't working at present, so they have an Allen organ down in the corner. But as part of the restoration projects, the organ is included in that. good things must come to an end. So we headed back to the airport for our evening flight back to Albury, which only takes about a couple of hours. So it's really fantastic how we can fly direct to Brisbane.